Hey y'all, what's up? I'm here a little bit early for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 5 episode 10. I think the episode actually got leaked on Saturday, but I didn't feel like watching the episode at the time cuz I was kind of aggravated. And I know I didn't give you guys a Gossip Chronicles, but it's some things I'm trying to get in order, in regards to my personal life. Um that's kind of what's been aggravating me, and the process that I have to go through to get certain things together and whatnot is kind of it's pure aggravation. Okay, it's been pure aggravation, but I definitely will tell you guys about it once everything gets in order or whatever. I definitely will share it with you guys or whatever. But in the meantime, let's talk about Love and Hip Hop. I'm not going to go in order for this episode. I'm probably going. Well, I am going to talk about Scrappy Dappy Doo and his storyline. Get that out the way, and then talk about everybody else or whatever. But I already know what people is really here to talk about, and that's that damn D Smith. But anyways, let's talk about Scrappy Dappy Doo. So he's at this photo shoot or whatever with his son. KK is there. It's, I guess her studio or whatever, and I think she, plans on doing other stuff in there as well. She's glad that Tierra came to her senses about the baby, spending time with Scrap or whatever, yada yada yada. And this is probably the most sound advice that I have heard KK give Scrappy Dappy Doo all season. She tells him to leave both of the T's alone, meaning Tommy and Tierra. I said, good job, KK. Finally giving your son some sound advice. But she mentions Carly Red and how she knows about her. And she can vouch for an older chick or whatever. And he like, well, mommy, you vouched for Tommy, and look what happened. And she's like, oh God, like, don't bring that up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And KK is saying that she was Team Tommy, but she feels like Tommy likes Chardonnay more than she likes Scrappy Dappy Doo. Um, like I said, she's glad that Tierra at least, let Scrappy Dappy Doo see, King or whatever. Um, then that's when he tells his mom to kind of go out the room for a minute so he can tell King about him having to serve time and everything. So she leaves, but she's actually, standing by the door or whatever. And, he, like I said, he's telling his son about, how he has to go away for a little while. He has to go somewhere where babies can't go. And I'm not going front. I teared up a little bit. I mean, y'all know I'm gangster, you know what I'm saying? So I had to hold the tears back in. But no, for real, I really did. I felt kind of sad. I did get misty eyed watching this because I felt bad for his son. You know what I'm saying? Um, his son, like, you could tell his son was really hurt. Like, his son didn't even want to look at him when he was telling him this news. He didn't want to look at him. He didn't want to cry or nothing like that. But he did cry and everything. I was just like, oh, poor baby. I really felt bad for him. But like he hugs him or whatever, they hug each other or whatever, but it was really sad to see. You could tell that boy really loved his daddy, even though we feel how we feel about Scrappy Dappy Doo, you could tell that King really loves him. Moving on, Karen, she's throwing like a little get together for Scrappy Dappy Doo before he goes away. Stevie, Kirk, Rashida, and Jock, they're there. Kirk, he asks about Celine and everything. He's asking Stevie about Celine or whatever. And, he's saying that Celine is in the bleachers right now and he's house hunting, and he lets them know he's also crashing with Mimi. And Rashida is like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, she was just too fucking through. She says that, I'm sorry. Rashida, was saying to Stevie J, like, does Jocelyn know about this? And Stevie like, well, I told Mimi to call her. I don't recall him telling her that. I don't know. Maybe he did, but I know that Mimi was the one who said that she was going to tell Jocelyn. But I don't recall him saying to, call her or whatever. But I don't know. My memory might be, whatever. But Anyways, Rashida is like that Mimi needs to stay out, clear of this whole situation, and that she needs to stop getting sucked in by Stevie J, and that she thinks she needs to have a conversation with her because, before she gets sucked in even further. I was like, well, she all up in the shit now. We gonna talk about that in a minute though. That damn Mimi, I tell you. But anyways, KK goes to check in on Scrap. Scrap is in another room or whatever. He's thinking about the time, that he's possibly going to get, and he's thinking about how his court date is getting closer and closer, and that it was hard for him to tell King about what was going on, and KK is like that. He's only 3 and he's not going to remember none of this. I'm like, he gonna remember the fact that his daddy won't there for 5 fucking years. Fuck you, me. Fuck you, me. Okay. But anyways, Scrappy Dappy Dude talks about how him and his father, they don't have no relationship. So it's very important for him that him and King have, a relationship and all this other stuff. And KK saying that she's gonna make sure that King sees Scrappy Dappy Doo in prison and tells him that he can't be worried about the 2 T's or whatever, and he can't be worried about his family. Like, he has to release himself from everyone. Not see he. She's like, I'm not saying don't call or nothing like that, but just focus on you, pretty much. But they go back to the party. They're all giving him encouraging words. Stevie is like, he's been in Scrappy Dappy Dude's shoes. I said, what? All of 5 fucking minutes? Like, Stevie, your little time in jail or prison or whatever ain't shit compared to what the fuck Scrappy Dappy Dude about to do, okay? So cut the bullshit. I said, this motherfucker here talking about something he done been in his shoes. Okay. Anyways, he also says that he's going to keep Tommy pushing up on him away from Scrap and never tell him about it. But I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure he has some idea that Tommy was trying to do something with you, considering last week when she told him, you was going to eat her pussy and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, what else happened? Oh, Scrap, he's thanking them or whatever. Sass, he gives a speech. They all hug, whatever. Okay, let's go back to Mimi real quick. So, we're at Mimi's house or whatever. She's still processing what Hasseline told her. She's pissed off or whatever. Stevie, he comes in like, what's wrong? It look like you done lost your best friend or whatever. She tells him about the meeting that she had with Hasseline and how he has other kids. And, she was like, if there's anything you want to tell me, just tell me now. And, he admits that there is something that he wants to tell her. So I'm thinking this motherfucker about to fess up because he took kind of a pause and shit. So, and this motherfucker gonna sit up here and say, the girl done lost her mind if she think I got other kids out here. I said, of course, typical Stevie J fashion. Of course, if this is true, he's not going to admit to it. Stevie is like, Jocelyn is full of lies, and Mimi is like that Jocelyn was very adamant about what she was telling me and everything, and how you have. She was like, how you got 2 more Stevie J's running around. And Mimi is like that, Mimi says that Jocelyn, says that she seen documents of child support that had Stevie's name on it and all this other stuff for one of the baby mamas. But Mimi also reveals that she knows the other baby mother's name, and that is somebody by the name of Promise B. May or whatever. Stevie's saying that Jocelyn is messing with the wrong one and all this other shit, trying to start shit with everybody, saying that she's lying, and the only reason that she is lying and shit like this to cover up what the fuck she did. And he shows Mimi the pictures of Jocelyn so-calledly bleaching his shit or whatever. And, Mimi is like, why would she do that? Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he's saying he ain't got no other kids out here. And she's like, if there's more Stevie J's running around this bitch, she's going to find out about it. She's going to find out. And, he trying to hug her and all this shit, trying to calm her down and smooth talk her. And, you know how Stevie do. And, she doesn't know what to believe at this point. And, he still wants to crash at her fucking house. And I'm thinking she's sitting here talking about something, he's a grown ass man and all this other stuff. So I'm thinking she about to say, hell to the motherfucking no. But of course not Mimi though. Not Mimi Faust. She sits up here and tells him, I'm gonna let you stay here. But you need to get your shit together. Because you and Jocelyn, y'all go through this all the time. Y'all together one week, y'all break up the next. I'm just like, me. Why? But to say all that, she walks out the room. Soon as she walks out the room, he gets comfortable right away, kicks his motherfucking feet up and shit, talking about some daddy's home. I'm like, this motherfucker here. I'm just like, and I don't think I said nothing last week, but I'm like, Mimi. Like, why are you being this fucking stupid? Why are you inserting yourself into this bullshit? Like Rashida said. Like, you're just making yourself, like everybody else is saying, you're making yourself look stupid. And why are you so pissed off if he does have 2 other kids out there? Y'all not together no more. That's because you still in love with his ass. That's what the fuck it is. And, if this is true, Eva ain't going to be the youngest no more out of all his kids. Girl, you ain't fooling nobody, okay? Alright. I think we could get on to the D. Smith and all their storylines and shit now. Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, we can't. Hold on. I forgot to talk about this last scene with Scrap. Is on the back of the page by itself. That's why I forgot about it. Y'all see my book all ripped the fuck up? This shit. Y'all see that? This shit is for done. Okay? But anyways, okay. Real quick. Scrap, he wakes up, goes to the bathroom, he cuts his hair off. KK come in there with something to wrap his hair. So I'm like, is we about to bury his hair or some shit? The fuck you wrapping the shit up for? Like, I didn't get that, but anyways, he has, a little, a talk with his son or whatever, yada, yada, yada. Him and his family, they all praying and crying and boo-hoo-hoo, whatever. And then he goes into court, and that's where the episode cuts off at. But, like, now we can go back to the storylines with D. Smith and all of them. So the episode opens up with Arian, D. Smith, and Betty Idle. They're all in the studio. Arian, she wants to sing. They talk about the shit that happened at Kay's party. Arian is considering, I guess, doing a label deal with K. Michelle. And, they pretty, she asks for their opinion or whatever. And they pretty much tell her not to do it and everything, this, that, and the third. And I was just like, well, damn. I mean, but Arian also talked about, too, you guys remember a few seasons back where she was auditioning to sing backup for K. Michelle, whatever, but it didn't work out. I forget, what happened with that? Was Arian sick? Is that what happened? I forgot, but I don't know if I've heard her sing since then, so I can't really make a judgment on whether the girl could sing or not. But at the same time, too, there are people who are sick and they still, can sing. So, but anyways, I'm still gonna give her benefit of the doubt. Maybe we'll hear something or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, Arian starts to get emotional because she's saying how she put everybody before her, and that's why I guess her pursuing a singing career has been on hold and everything. And Betty Idle, she's like, oh, don't cry or whatever, this, that, and the third. They both hug her and comfort her, this, that, and the third. And I guess they are considering working with her. So Anyways, moving on from that, let's talk about Tammy, Bambi, and Deb. So they're all at I think they're at Tammy's house. And Bam is telling them about what happened at Kay's party and everything. And she, explains how she respects the transgender community, but D. Smith can say all this stuff to her, as a woman, this, that, and the third. But if she was to say something, then folk would be mad at her. And that is true, you know what I'm saying? You guys know I, love and respect the LGBT community as well. But I do feel where she's coming from, because you get into an argument with them or whatever, this, that, and the third, and they could throw all these insults at you, but if you was to do the same thing, then people would be in an uproar like, oh, she's this, she's that, this, that, and the third. But the girl, attacked her first. You know what I'm saying? And Bambi, she felt like she kind of went too hard on D. Smith or whatever. I said, girl, you ain't go hard enough, because I ain't gonna front. She did kind of get you last week. Bam, I fucks with you and everything, but she did kind of get you last week. I'm sorry. She did, Anyways, what else happened? Then Tammy, she starts talking about her situation with D. Smith and Betty or whatever, and how Betty don't even know her and how Betty doesn't even know her and Bambi or whatever. So D. Smith does, and whatever D. Smith is going back to say, obviously, D. Smith must be going back telling Betty stuff. And so Deb, she feels like the drama needs to stop. She wants them to be on the panel for her NRIP, the thing that she started for her other son who committed suicide a couple years back or whatever. But she wants to include D. Smith and Betty Idol in it. They feel like, how the fuck these bitches gonna be on the panel when they motherfucking bullies they self? But Deb, she tells them to hush they asses right on up and just deal with it. So we get D. Smith and Deb. D, she, I'm sorry, no. Deb, she wants D to be a part. Like I said, she wants, she tells D she wants her to be a part of the panel, and explains how, all of this started with the death of her son. And so, D finds out that Deb's son committed suicide, and, she's interested in, what's going on, or, whatnot. Deb wants Betty to come too, but she doesn't want the drama. She ain't here for the bullshit. Deb brings up Tammy or whatever and says that, D. Smith is saying that whole situation stemmed from Walker, from Walker and his views and all this other stuff. Deb feels like that what Walker said didn't necessarily come out right, and D is like, well, he should get an interview coach or whatever. Deb is like, Tammy didn't attack D or whatever, so she don't even understand why D even came at her like that. D talking about some Tammy is not an angel or whatever, that she's actually Tasmanian devil, and can't believe Deb is sticking up for her. I'm just like, I mean, bitch, Tammy has been nothing but nice to you, and you have been coming, and you was coming at her motherfucking sideways. You know what I'm saying? And D explains that Betty was the one who got into it with Tammy or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Deb is saying, but see, that's a reflection of you, though. Just the same way how you trying to say that Walker is a reflection of Tammy. And D, D, she talking about some, that's cute, nice try, but that, that's not exactly the same thing or whatever. And oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes. And Deb is like, try, or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, D is like, Tammy threw water at Betty, this, that, and the third. And I was like, yeah, she threw water at her motherfucking ass because she kept on running her motherfucking mouth. Now, I'm not saying, violence and shit like that is right, but I mean, come on. The bitch was asking for it. Just being automatically rude to her for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? Deb wants them all to get along, but it don't look like that's going to happen. And, D talking about she's disappointed in Deb and all this other stuff because this could, be a platform for her to, talk about the trans, community and bullying and all that other stuff. Um, moving on from that, okay, let's talk about Arian, Mimi, D. Smith, Betty Idol. So Arian is introducing Mimi to D or whatever. Mimi says that she saw her in the fashion show and that she slayed. I said, if you think I mean, we all agree that D gives us, Grace Jones teas or whatever, this, that, and the third. And like I said, she has, beautiful bone structure. You know what I'm saying? But that wig that she had on and that damn walk was not, no. So I don't know what you talking about, slayed Mimi, but I mean, okay. Um, Mimi is excited that Arian and D are going to work together. Betty, she pops up. Mimi kind of feeling some type of way and not sure she really fucking with Betty like that because, Tammy is her friend and she don't know if she ain't got time for the bullshit. So Mimi immediately jumps into the situation with Betty and Tammy and, and Mimi is like, saying that Tammy never had an issue with you, so I don't understand what the problem was or whatever. And Betty says that, her and Tammy, they haven't talked since that situation, this, that, and the third, and how she don't think she wants to have a conversation with her. D. Smith, she talks about her meeting with Deb, and D thinks that Deb was coming off defensive about Walker or whatever, and going to say, she going to sit up here and say that every time, she brought up Walker, it was like, well, what did my son do to you? But the way she said it, she went back to her man voice and said that shit in a deep ass voice. And I'm looking like, what the fuck? Like, you still can do that? I was like, you know what I'm saying? And Mimi and Arian and Betty, they all kind of was startled too. Like, what the fuck? Especially Mimi, her mouth was wide open, like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, Deb didn't do all that, and she, and this is my thing, D. Smith, you do over exaggerate some bullshit, and just to make yourself look like the fucking victim. You do, cause I think Ashley Miller had said it on her Facebook page, how D over exaggerates the situation to make herself look like a victim, and you fucking do, you really do. Because that's not even how it went down. She wasn't being all defensive about Walker. She just was saying how, Walker didn't mean the shit that Walker said. He didn't mean it like that. Like, you just doing all this unnecessary bullshit, and it wasn't even that fucking serious. You know what I'm saying? And, what else happened? Mimi says that D should, go, she coaches her to go do the goddamn panel any fucking way. And, like I said, she's standing up here talking about how, Dad was very protective of Walker and he should be an example and not an exception. I was just like, bitch, bye. Anyways, so we get to the panel. We have a lot of talking going on, with the LBGT community. A lot of them are sharing their stories or whatever and bringing awareness to the things that they went through growing up and when they came out and all this other stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool, Mama D crazy ass is on the panel. She was giving some words of wisdom, What else happened? Deb, she's talking about her son that committed suicide, because of things that were said on social media. D and Betty, they walk in. And Deb is like, I thought I made it clear that I didn't want no fucking drama at this event. You know what I'm saying? But she's hoping that, what's her name? D. Smith keeps shit cool or whatever. Tammy, she brings up how Walker had, Walker and how he has an opinion, but he doesn't bash people, and she feels like it's a difference between having an opinion and bashing. And I agree, it is a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I do remember me seeing that interview that he did. Like I said, I believe it was on the Breakfast Club. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I don't remember him bashing um transgenders. You know what I'm saying? He just had an opinion. But anyways, Tammy feels like Dee and Betty, they're judgmental. Dee, she steps up to the podium and she was like that she caught Tammy's subliminal shade or whatever, and how she came here to be peaceful, but now she sees she gonna have to, whatever. So Dee, she's telling her story or whatever, and how, her family, they didn't take the time out to listen to her and everything and all this other stuff, and how you have to have compassion for people, yada yada yada. Tammy, she feels like, Dee is being a hypocrite. Like, bitch, how the fuck you gonna sit up here and talk about compassion when you've been sitting up here, trying to be a bully and all this other stuff. So Tammy, she explains that it's hard to explain stuff to her 10-year-old daughter, when she doesn't even know about the birds and the bees or whatever. And Dee says that, and how her daughter doesn't know about sexuality or something like that, she said. And Dee says that trans has nothing to do with sexuality, it has to do with soul. And Tammy says that she felt attacked over an opinion that Walker had. You know what I'm saying? And D. Smith was like that Walker has a platform and he should have used it responsibly. It says that Walker should have lied, pretty much lied, and say that he likes trans and trans are cool people. And I'm just like, so you want him to lie? You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe he should have just not said nothing at all. But at the same time, like, it's his opinion. You know what I'm saying? And Tammy is like, why would he say that? Because that's not how he feels. You know what I'm saying? Deb, she's over the bullshit. Tammy, is like, Walker never said that he didn't fuck with the trans, community or whatever. He just doesn't agree with the lifestyle. Dee, she slams her hand on the podium talking about Walker is your lifestyle. I'm just like, and people was actually like clapping for her or whatever, and I'm just like, do y'all not understand? Okay, we gonna get to that in a minute. Dee, she's sitting here talking about they're married, so they're one. And Tammy is like, if that was the case, that she wouldn't have went through half of the shit that she went through with his ass, and that if they had the same opinion, he wouldn't have did half the shit he did to her. And Deb, she kind of shuts it down a little bit. What else happened? Somebody in the audience was like, saying y'all not gonna gang up on her. Who the fuck was ganging up on her? The argument was between her and Tammy. And I mean, Deb, she might have said a little something to kind of try to shut the shit down. But it's like, who the fuck was ganging up on her? She was ganging, her and Miss Little Betty Ida was ganging up on motherfucking Bambi last week. Yeah, you don't know about that shit though. Bet you know now. You probably didn't watch the show. That shit made me mad because I'm just like, really? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Deb, she's over it. Dee and Betty, they leave. Dee is saying that this is not the platform for Tammy to make shit personal or whatever. My thing is, yet a fucking again, just because Walker feels a certain way about the trans community or whatever, does not mean Tammy feels the same fucking way. Yes, when you are married, you are one, but that does not mean that y'all both don't have a mind of y'all fucking own still. Y'all get that you don't get when you get married to somebody or whatever, y'all minds don't become joint all of us. Y'all brains don't become joint all of a sudden. No, y'all still have different fucking minds. And even if Walker didn't do the shit that he did to Tammy, they're still going to have different opinions on shit. And speaking of Walker and Tammy, I meant to say this early in the video, but I saw something about supposedly they done split up or something. I'm like, what? Well, damn. And I done seen Hosseline and Stevie J going back and forth on Instagram or whatever too. I'm just like, Lord have mercy. So I guarantee you, I mean, unless, if Walker and Tammy don't get back together before the reunion, I'm pretty sure there's some shit D. Smith and Betty Ida going to sit up here and throw in her motherfucking face too. But it's just like, I mean, I don't get it. They have different opinions. His opinion does not speak her opinion. Like, it's just, I don't know, y'all. Like, it's like, I really wanted to like D. Smith. I really did. And she is, like, I don't understand why Mona keep on getting these people on this fucking show making the LBGT community looking bad. Because not all transgenders act like D. Smith. And then, you know, her with this foolishness when she brought Miles and Milan on the Hollywood franchise, and now who is it? Miles So Carly messing around with Sunday Carter from Basketball Wives. And well no, let me take that back, because Miles did say he was bi. Even though, I'm sorry, you know, personally me, I feel like if a guy, I know it's a double standard, I know, but I kind of feel like if a guy is bi, that they not really bi. But Milan Christopher would, you know, y'all remember when he was So Carly, they was trying to say So Carly, he was messing with Moniece and all this other shit, and just all the shit that they was doing on social media back and forth. It's like Mona is making a fucking mockery out of the LBGT community, and I don't fucking like it. That shit is not, you bringing these people that's giving a poor representation of the LBGT community, and, you know, for people who already don't like them, it's making, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, child, I'm done. I'm done. That was my review or whatever. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, about this episode. You know, what are your thoughts? This, that, and the third. I will be reviewing Black Ink later on tonight. Follow me on all social media. It's in the description box, and I will talk to y'all later on. Peace.